Good morning everyone. Today we will discuss lesson 4 about gripping, stroking, and footwork. Basic skills for effective play. Learning objectives. After going through the lesson, students should be able to demonstrate how to grip a racket, explain and demonstrate basic stroking techniques, enumerate some tips on having the ready position, explain how effective footwork can be while playing badminton. Lastly, use footwork to increase power while playing badminton. Before attempting a stroking technique, you must learn how to grip the racket to produce power and control, where to position yourself on the court to produce power and control, how to stand when awaiting returns, and how to move about the court. Gripping or racket handling. The most fundamental aspect of badminton technique is how to hold the racket. A correct grip, the term used in holding the racket, is a pathway for a badminton player to improve upon their skills. On the contrary, using an incorrect grip is often a brick wall that leads to poor form and poorly executed techniques. Grip or handshake. This technique in holding the racket is called handshake because the palm of the hand is vertical position. Similar to that of a handshake, the handshake grip is similar to the grip used in other racket sports such as racquetball and squash, and the Eastern forehand grip in lawn tennis. Holding the racket edge. There are three techniques emphasized in the forehand or handshake grip by Sitting and Wilson in 1992. First, holding the racket in a vertical position and perpendicular to the net or on edge. Create to achieve this powerful forehand or handshake grip. Place the palm of your racket and hand against the strings. Then slide that hand down to the grip. Gripping the racket in this position will enable you to quickly adjust the racket to strike any type shot hit by your opponent. Second, using thumb forefinger opposition. Forming a V, place the thumb and forefinger opposite each other and apply light pressure inward while bottom three fingers, example the middle ring and little finger. Apply most of the gripping pressure ensuring a tight hold during a powerful swing. Lastly, employing the trigger finger concept to enhance the control of both the racket and the shuttlecock. A trigger is created by separating the index finger and the middle by approximately 1 inch. The index finger will be in roughly the same position like that of squeezing off a gun. The racket must be gripped in.
Hello everyone. According to Bloss and Hales 1990, backhand grip is a slight modification of the forehand grip. Bakit po ba siya sinabi na slight modification of the forehand grip? Kasi yung forehand grip po, ang paghawak po ng racket ay naka-vertical position or naka-handshake po siya. And then sabi dito, para ma-achieve and effective yung backhand grip, kailangan po natin i-remember itong 3 points. So ano ba yung mga 3 points? The first point is, turn your hand counterclockwise until the point of the V is on the left bevel. Ano ba yung V point tsaka left bevel? Kung napapansin niyo po sa litrato, yung V point po natin ay yung color black. Tapos yung left bevel naman ay yung sa handle. Kasi kung napapansin niyo po, yung handle po ng racket natin ay hindi po siya circle yung shape, kundi octagon po. Ang tanong, ilang sides po ba yung octagon? 8 sides po. And each sides po yun ay meron po tayong tinatawag na top and bottom, left bevel and right bevel, left vertical and right vertical panel, left under and right under bevel. So yun po yung left bevel. So sabi dito, i-turn natin yung hand natin na naka-counterclockwise until the point of the V is on the left bevel. Kundi yung thumb po natin dapat nasa left bevel po siya. Tapos yung point po ng tab natin dapat nasa malapit sa V point. And kung left-handers ka naman, you must turn the hand clockwise to achieve a backhand grip. Second point, on drivers and clears, place the ball of the thumb flat against the back bevel of the handle. This position gives support necessary for power and depth. Dito kasi, ilagay lang po natin mismo yung tab natin sa back bevel. Tapos yung point po ng tab natin nasa point of the V pa rin. Kasi kung alam nyo po, yung drivers and clears na shot, mas kinakailangan po yung power and depth rather than control. And lastly, third point. Drop shots and net shots require control rather than power. So, it is not necessary to have your thumb flat. It may rest across the back bevel as it does on the forehand grip. Kasi yung drop shot and net shots po natin, mas nire-require po yung control rather than power. So, yung thumb po natin, like, relax lang po siya sa back bevel kasi sabi nga dito, it may rest across the back bevel as it does on the forehand grip. Kung naalala nyo po, yung forehand grip po natin, ang paghawak po ng handle ay naka-vertical position po siya or naka-handshake lang po siya. Yun lang po, salamat.
Next is frying pan grip. The frying pan grip is used exclusively for a net play, primarily in returning the doubles serve with a push shot. This is because the serve is apt to be hit directly at the body, and it's more important to push it back quickly than to hit it with power. To achieve a frying pan grip, lay the racket on the floor and then pick it up with the palm of the hand facing the floor. The face of the racket will be parallel to the net. Next is stroking the shuttle. The term stroke and the shot are sometimes used interchangeably or mapagpalit. However, most badminton authorities use the word stroke to refer the action of striking the shuttle with the racket. So there are three stroking patterns, namely underhand, the overhand, also called overhead, and the sidearm. Strokes may be executed from either the forehand or the backhand side of the body. On the other hand, the term stroke refers to the result of a stroke, that is the resulting flight pattern of the shuttlecock according to its trajectory or elevation of depth after being stroked. Thus, a forehand-underhand stroke may be used to hit a variety of shot serves, clear the drop shots. Conversely, or kabaliktaran, a drop shot may be hit with an underhand, overhand, and sidehand stroke.
A forehands and backhands. A forehand is any stroke on the racket side of the body. Forehand, ito ay isang uri o klase ng pag-serve ng shuttle kung saan ang shuttle ay pinapalo ng kamay na dominante na may hawak na racket mula sa baba papuntang itaas hanggang tamaan ng shuttle na hinahawakan ng kamay na hindi dominante at mapunta sa kabilang team. Ang pag-swing naman ng racket sa gilid o tabi ng katawan. While backhand is any shot struck on the side from the racket, left side for right handlers and right side for left handers. Backhand, ito ay uri ng pagpalo ng shuttle mula sa harapan. Hawakan ng dominanteng kamay ang racket at ipwesto sa harapan ng kamay na malapit sa tiyan. At sa kabilang kamay naman ay ang shuttle na ipapwesto sa harap ng racket. At paluin ang shuttle na mahina o malakas papunta sa kabilang team. Laging nasa harapan ng dominanteng paa pagpapalo ng backhand at kamay na dapat pamalo ay kung saan din banda ng paa ang dominante. Dapat ito ay magkapareho. There are three basic stroking techniques whether forehand or backhand consist of three parts. First is backswing. Backswing is the movement of the racket away from the target shuttle. Backswing, ito ay uri ng pag-swing ng racket kung saan galing ito sa malayo o likod ng player para hampasin ang shuttle paharap. Hitting action is the forward motion of the racket until it makes contact with the shuttle. Hitting action, ito ay pagpalo paharap ng racket hanggang tumama sa shuttle. Follow through is the movement of the racket from contact with the shuttle until the player is back in a position to await the opponent's next shots. Follow through, ito ay galing sa pagtama ng racket sa shuttle at bumalik na ang player paghihintay na position para hintayin kung paano titirahin ng kalaban ang shuttle. Success in badminton requires power in the hitting action. The primary source of power during the hitting action in badminton is the acceleration of the hand and racket. So there are three movements are primarily responsible for acceleration, Whiting-Wilson, 1992. First is arm extension. Arm extension, pag-i-stretch ng buong kamay kaunti. Second is forearm rotation. The turning can be inward pronation or outward supination. Forearm rotation, pronation, ang pag-ikot ng kamay papasok at supination, ang pag-ikot ng kamay papalabas. The third is wrist action or wrist cock. The motion can be bending towards the inside of the forearm. Flexion or extending toward the outside of the forearm. Hyperextension. Wrist action or wrist cock, ang direksyon ng pagbend ng kamay papasok at papalabas. Dito naman sa first picture, the wrist cock forehand, pinapakita dito ang forma ng pagpalo ay galing sa loob palabas. The second picture naman is wrist cock backhand. Ang forma ng kamay ng palo nito ay galing itaas o likod papunta sa kalaban. Considering the requirements of power through acceleration, the basic stroking technique can now be fully described as backswing. Flex the arm and cock the wrist, hyperextending the wrist for forehands and flexing it for backhands. Forehand, backswing. Ito ay ang pag-flex ng buong kamay o ito ay mabilis na pagpalo ng racket mula sa likod ng parte ng katawan at papuntang harapan hanggang tumama sa shuttle na paparating. Next ay sitting action. Extend the arm vigorously and rotate the forearm, pronating it for forehands and supinating it for backhands. Hitting action. Ito ay ang pag-extend ng kamay kaunti at ang pag-ikot ng kamay pronating kapag naka-forehands at supinating para sa backhands. And the last one is follow through. Flex the wrist, forehand only. Follow through, ang pag-flex ng kamay na naka-forehand. Dito naman sa picture, preparation for backhand. Ito ay isang uri ng position na pag-aantay ng shuttle na papunta na nakapronation ng forearm at papasok ang pag-flex ng wrist ng kamay. Sa pangalawang picture naman, ipinapakita ang backhand ng stroke na nakatama na sa shuttle, naka-forearm supination at ang wrist extension. Thank you.
Underhand stroke are all those in which the contact point with the shuttle and head of the racket are below the level of the hand. Underhand stroke, played forehand or backhand, are used to produce short or flight patterns such as serves, clear, and drops. The backswing of underhand stroke is accomplished by dropping the racket head down and back while the racket foot moves with a long stride forwards or lunge in the direction of the spot where the shuttle would hit the floor.
Good morning. My report is all about the overhand or overhead stroke. A stroke that used to return a shuttle with a high trajectory coming from the opponent's court when the shuttle gets behind you. This stroke used to hit shots such as clears, drop, and smashes. To make an effective backwing, lift both arms overhead. Sharply bend the elbow of the racket arm and move the racket arm. And also move the racket foot in the direction of the area where the shuttle would hit the floor. Simultaneously, turn the shoulders and torso without the shuttle side, forehand and backhand. So ito yung overhand, ito yung way para ma-hit mo yung shuttlecock through sa ilalim. You have to bend your elbow of the racket arm and move it through your racket foot. So that's all.
Overhead clear shot. Ito ay defensive clear shot hit. or parang umatake ka lang. Mula sa iyong baseline hanggang sa baseline ng kalaban mo, ito rin ay mabisang shot upang maitaboy ang kalaban into the rear court. Makikita pa natin sa image kung paano gawin ang overhead clear shots. There are 3 key steps in overhead clear shot. Una ay preparation, ikalawa naman po ay shot, at ikatlo ay recovery. Sa preparation, gamitin yung forehand grip or handle start by turning into their sideway. Iposisyon ng katawan na patayo sa net at ang ulo ay nakaharap dito pabalik at i-drop sa binti ng racket. Asyat naman ibaloktot ang iyong sikot pulso preparing to swing forward. Your racket hand ay dapat nasa likuran ng ulo gamit ang siko. Ibaloktot ang pulso at ang ulo ng racket na nakaturo pababa. Raise your non-rocking hand and pointed the shuttle para ma-improve ang timing. Ituwid ang siko and rotate the forearm as you hit the shuttle. And ang shuttle ay dapat na tamaan hanggat maaari. Recovery. Once you have put the shuttle deep, bumalik sa nakahandang posisyon. Ang overhead clear shot ay dapat na patayo sa lupa at mapunta sa pagitan ng baseline at ng long double service line. Practice your overhead clear with your opponent hanggang sa makuha mo ang mga ito. Nice and deep without much effort and enjoy ang game. Sidearm stroke. Ito ay isang stroke na ginamit para maabot ang mga shot mula sa alinman sa sideline. Kapag ang shot ay nasa halos net top na taas sa pagitan ng iyong bimong at balikat. Upang makabuo o bumalik ng mga shot, ang tawag dito ay drive. Ang pattern ng paglipad ng drive ay nakaparallel sa floor at ang shuttle ay skims lamang ang net. Meron tayong dalawang drive na makikita natin sa may libro. Merong forehand drive and backhand drives. Ipapaliwanag ko po kung paano po gamitin ang mga drive na ito. Sa forehand drive po, ang player ng forehand side ay kapareho ng kanyang playing hand. Para sa isang right-handed player, ang forehand side ay ang kanyang right side at ang backhand side naman ay ang kanyang left side. Ang mga forehand stroke ay tinatamaan sa harap ng kamay na nangunguna tulad ng paghampas ng palad. Samantalang ang mga backhand stroke ay tinatamaan sa likod ng kamay na nangunguna tulad ng paghampas ng mga buko. Ang mga manlalaro ay madalas na naglalaro ng ilang mga stroke sa forehand side na may backhand hitting action at vice versa. Sa forecourt at midcourt, karamihan sa mga stroke ay maaaring laruin ng pantay-pantay sa alinman sa forehand o backhand side. Backhand drive ay pareho sa forehand na version except for the slight grip change at nagsisimula sa back swing na ang palad ay nakaharap pababa at tinatapos ang stroke na nakaharap ito sa itaas sa tapat ng sa forehand. Ang forehand drive naman ay isang attacking shot na kadalasang nilalaro mula sa mga gilid ng court kapag ang shuttlecock ay masyadong baba.
So, hi everyone. I'm Floren Mae Desono and I will be the one to report the footwork. So, footwork is the skill that allows you to move from one point to another in the badminton court. Badminton is such a fast game that players are required to execute efficient foot movement. Footwork includes the position and the stance you assume while waiting for your opponent to hit the shuttle, the step you take in getting into position to stroke the shuttle, the relationship of your feet during the hitting action, and the steps taken in moving back to your base position before your opponent hits again. To move your feet efficiently is to take the fewest steps possible to a certain spot and still reach the shuttle in a balance. So, footwork is very important, yes. Why? Kasi ito yung skill na mag-aalaw sa atin para mag-move ng mabilis and maayos sa badminton court. Kasi nga 'di ba, yung larong badminton is mabilis siya na laro. So dapat dito maayos yung pag-execute natin sa mga kilos natin para hindi natin ma-miss yung shuttle. Although, for example,
yung opponent natin is very magaling na siya sa larong badminton. And may mga different styles and diskarte na siya. But then, if nag-practice ka ng footwork and na-execute mo to siya ng maayos sa yung proper execution, then di ka mahihirapan sa paghabol ng shuttle and mabilis ka rin makakabalik sa proper position mo. Then, footwork allows us to make us hit harder and put us in a position to hit and get us out in danger. So, meron tayo ditong the ready position. Sa footwork, meron tayong the ready position. The ready position is common to sports in which a player must react to an opponent's actions. It is important to move quickly and efficiently in any direction without wasted movement. So, meron tayo ditong 5 points na dapat nating i-practice para maging habit natin. Ito siya. So, first, take a position in the center of the court. Stand with both feet on the floor. Weigh evenly distributed on the balls of the feet. So, dapat first is dapat nasa tamang balanse tayo ng pagtayo natin. Second is stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. One foot slightly in front of the other for good balance. So, kung gaano kalapad yung shoulder natin, dapat ganun din yung pag-spread ng or pag-open ng legs natin. And dapat yung isang paa is naka-forward siya ng mga 1 foot lang para mas perfect yung balance. Third is relax your body and flex your knees slightly and be ready for instantaneous action. So, dapat relax natin yung body natin and slightly bend our knees. Fourth is hold both your arms in front of your body. Hold the racket head up in front and away from the body about shoulder height. So, sa may mga books dyan, makikita nyo kung ano yung proper na position netong the ready position. And the last is concentrate on the shuttle as it leaves your opponent's racket and try to determine the location of the shoot. So, dapat pag naglalaro tayo nitong badminton, dapat yung concentration natin is doon lang. Dapat walang distraction. So, yan po.
The court. So the first is the center location is your basic positions in single play. This is the location in the court from which you are able to reach most shots easily, and here you command the best area for any maneuver. So especially for the singles players, you need to cover all parts of the court. So center is the best position while playing because you will be able to catch with the least amount of footsteps wherever the shuttlecock will land. Next is the center location is halfway between the net and back boundary line and at the center line and equidistant from two sidelines. So yun na nga, wherever the shuttlecock will land, if motira na ang kalaban, if andun ka talaga sa center location, madali na lang to rin tumira because of this equidistant or equal distant. Next is your opponent will try to draw you from this basic center position by directing the shuttle to a corner shots but return quickly to the center position. So isa po din siya ka-tactics sa mga players sa badminton. By hitting the corners, your opponent force you away from your base position. So your opponent plays the shuttlecock away from your direction of movement. So as you are moving, you are not ready to change direction, and consequently, you cannot reach the shuttlecock. So may tendency na makagain ang kalaban ng points.
Moving into hitting position, moving towards the net and to the baseline. To prepare for a forehand overhead stroke in the deep right court, lead with the right and take gliding steps diagonally back to the corner. Pivot with your left side partially turned towards the net. Your left foot is forward as you hit.
So, in order to hit the shuttle, it requires you or the player to move forward the baseline or towards the net. There are 4 examples of moving into hitting position. Footwork, which is shown in the picture given in the slide. The first footwork is footwork to deep forehand corner. Second is footwork to deep backhand corner. And then the third is footwork to front forehand corner. And the last one is footwork to front backhand corner. To prepare for a backhand stroke from the deep left court, pivot or turn on the left foot and stride diagonally back to the corner with your back partially turned to the net. Your right foot is in front of you, pointed sideways or diagonally to the corner. To move to either corner at net, push off with your left foot and lead with your right. The second step is with your left, and the third step lands you with your right foot in front. So, in moving towards the corner ng net, you should push off the left foot and then ang right foot ang maglilid in stepping forward, followed by the left foot and so on in order to go in front the corner ng net. So, I'll give one example of footwork. If yung shuttle is approaching towards the deep forehand corner ng court, the right footwork to take is the first footwork shown in the picture sa slide, which is called footwork to deep forehand corner. It shows to move backward sideways to the right, wherein the right foot yung unang mag-step, and then followed by the left foot backwards papuntang baseline.
Good morning, leaders. My report is about footwork during the hitting action and the footwork during recovery. Footwork during the hitting action. First, the last step to be taken before hitting the shuttle is always with the racket foot. When the shuttle is front you, this movement is similar to the lunge of fencer. This is the example of racket foot. Next is forehand and around the head shot. Forehand shot used to hit the shuttle on the backhand side of the body are more powerful than the backhands. A more powerful hitting action may be result in a hinge kick or a scissor kick in which both heels leave the floor at the same time. This is the example of forehand and around the head shots. Next is when the shuttle is behind you and on the backhand side, pivot and crossover so that you face the backhand sideline or back corner. Pivot is the legal movement in which a player who is holding a line ball on the playing court step once or more than once in any direction with the same foot, while the other foot, called a pivot foot, is kept at its point of contact with the floor. Crossover is a more advanced footwork that helps you get a greater balance while moving forward and backward. Footwork during recovery. Often you will have less than 1 second in which you to move back near center court before opponent hit a turn. If you are in the front court, it is most efficient to recover when a long first step with the racket foot, 2 followed by shuffling step as needed. When you have hit from the back 8 feet of the court or your back court, the first recover step will also be with the racket foot. Following your step will be walking or running step rather than shuffling step. Your footwork is most likely to improve when you learn to think in terms of the racket foot or non-racket foot rather than the right or left foot. That's all. Thank you.
Using footwork to increase power. Practice the form recommended below in order to gain greater power from your footwork in leg action. First, the racket leg is back for all power hitting motion. This leg is on the same side as the racket hand. Second, During the backswing, turn the hips and legs in the same direction as the non-hitting shoulder. Third one, during the backswing, flex the knees. During the hitting action, extend the legs. Fourth, during the hitting action and follow through, transfer the body weight toward the target. Most of the way should end up on the front foot. The back heel will be well off the floor. Last ones, advance the techniques. Allow both feet to come off the floor as you swing the racket forward. Using a scissors, kick or hit the kick.